Hi, Tony Baratta here. I wanted to talk to you today about one of the long-term consequences, potential, without proper treatment for brain injury. A brain injury is invisible. It can't be seen on an X-ray. It can't be seen on an MRI. It's something that's diagnosed completely as a result of signs and symptoms by a doctor. And, these signs and symptoms can be believed or thought by others to be maybe a personality defect. And it certainly makes the person who is suffering from the brain injury feel inadequate and depressed. So it's incredibly important to get the appropriate treatment. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm filled with regret with regard to a client that I long time represented a long time ago, who had suffered a traumatic brain injury. Ultimately, because he didn't get the appropriate treatment that he needed, he became addicted to opioids and he committed suicide. He didn't have good medical coverage. He didn't have good health insurance. He didn't have good auto insurance to pay for his medical. And he had no sources to help him pay for the treatment that he so desperately needed. And he became addicted to opioids and eventually killed himself. So it's so important to get the treatment that you need, because did you know that as much as 40% of people with substance abuse disorders have also been found to have suffered a traumatic brain injury in the past? And why is that? It's because people with traumatic brain injury have headaches, they have chronic pain, they have oftentimes they're prescribed opioids by the doctors who are treating them. And because the frontal lobe of the brain is oftentimes the part of the brain that's injured, they also lack impulse control that a non-brain injured person would have. And therefore that leads to the danger of potential opioid abuse. And then when someone is addicted to substances, that exposes that person to a greater risk of falls or motor vehicle accidents, or the kinds of events that can lead to another brain injury or to, a first-time brain injury. So it's important to get the treatment that's necessary. And there are 5 components of a successful brain injury treatment program, which includes physical therapy, cognitive therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and psychological counseling. These are important treatment that every brain injury survivor should get. And one of the dangers of not getting them is to become addicted to substance abuse. My name is Tony Baratta, and I hope this has been helpful to you.